And in that breath of sanctuary, in that space of opening and of being a presence of the presence in this world, we step into that breath. We relax in. We just check in with our bodies this morning as we do that. Is there something that's tensed? Is there something that's gripped? Is there something we're concerned or worried about? Let's just let it loosen. Let's just wrap it in Godness. See the divine order in it. Know that there is divine order in it, even if we can't see it in this moment. We hold that presence of God awareness, both within ourselves and in our world, knowing that God is the allness, that whether we call it creator, science, nature, the universe, that allness is what we live and move and have our being within. And holding the knowing that the allness is moving forward in divine unfoldment. We just bring that presence of God awareness right now to anything that we feel needs it. God is here. God speaks in whispers and in shouts and in the quiet stillness within us. It is ours to listen. It is ours to leave open space and open receptivity for that God guidance when it comes. That little tug of intuition, that feeling that we should turn left or turn right. That knowing in the pit of our stomach that even as we're verbalizing something that we feel we're not sure the answer of, we can feel it within us. We know the answers because God is within us. We have the strength and the fortitude to reach solutions because God is within us. Sometimes all that is ours to do is to simply be still and know God is within. The universe, the laws of the universe, the outworking of divine order, the presence of the one presence. It's here, always. And we just take a moment to know that at depth. In the stillness, we will sit for just a moment and be still and know in the silence. And then with another breath and with gratitude for that sacred silence, we bring ourselves back to this space, opening to what is ours to receive in the rest of our time together today. Grateful, we say, thank you, God. Thank you, God. And so it is. Amen. So this is the last week that we're going to be talking about strength, and I just had to play with y'all this morning. So I told you that strength isn't always about strength. I could show you right now, though. No. Strength isn't always about physical strength, and this week Marta and I stepped into a thing where I think we just need to do a podcast, and we're going to call it Mulching with Marta. If you drove in today, I hope if you drove in today, you noticed how pretty all the trees looked with all the pretty little red mulch underneath. And Marta and I had a mulch party this week, and it was wonderful. And so this is sometimes how strength shows up too. Sometimes you got to roll up your sleeves and get sweaty and dirty and full of mulch and remember that you have that kind of strength too. And if you step into something like mulching with Marta and you find out that every muscle hurts the next morning, it's a great opportunity to remember that, lifting weights in the gym and lifting weights in real life, they're two completely different things. And so it's sometimes time to step into our strength physically, sometimes time to step into it mentally. But I wanted to thank you, Marta, for this. We had so much fun. Okay. So this whole month, this whole year, we're talking about Unity's 12 powers. And Unity's 12 powers, for those of you who aren't familiar, are 12 attributes of the divine, of that Christ presence within us. There are so many different attributes to Godness. These are just 12. There's many more, I think, than these 12. And the month of February focuses on strength. And boy, I tell you guys all the time, there's never any mistakes. Whatever pops up in the universe for what's going to be a Sunday talk, what's going to be something else, you get the opportunity to live in it and be in it the whole time. And I had an opportunity this week and last week as well to really, I've been incorporating some new things into my life, and I haven't had the regimented, regular Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning gym time that I was making myself have, and that I was very proud of doing the self-care to take that care of myself to get into the gym every Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning. Well, Mom has been taking the opportunity for some self-care, and she's going to the Y to do some things with Chris and some other people that are there at the Y, and so sometimes my gym morning gets moved around a little bit because I tend to drive Mom places, and when I don't, we found that she's got service that can help her get rides where she wants, but life has been shifting and changing kind of quickly lately, and I've been doing a little dancing to try to catch up with that, and so for a couple weeks I was like, I can do without the gym. No, I need to go back into the gym because this week was a lot of lifting and moving and physically wanting that strength. And if I don't take care of me and set aside the time that I know that my body needs, then my life shows it. You know, I was talking to my mom. I had an opportunity to move a bunch of tile as well this week. And it was heavy. And I told my mom, honestly, before I started at the gym, I don't think I could have done that. And so sometimes we need to make room for this temple that we walk around in to get the physical fitness it needs. That is sacred too. In case I haven't made that point to me and to everyone else, that is sacred too. Taking the time you need to take care of you, whether it's going to the gym Whether it's Mike came in here this morning. Some of you may have seen him and you might be like, well, where's Mike? Because Mike came in and we were sitting talking and he said, I really don't feel well. And I said, then go home. Please, go home. Honor what your body is telling you and go home. Poor Tracy has been struggling. Where did she go? She disappeared. See? No, yeah, she went home. Okay. Tracy was dealing with some real concerns health-wise and headaches and sinuses and all of that this week, and had the strength to go, you know what? I think I need to go to the doctor and get some help with this. Strength comes in those forms as well. When we're strong enough to say no when we want to say yes, or to say yes when we want to say no for different reasons, if we know that it's something that is good for us, it is a good, wonderful thing to take the time for yourself that you need. Sometimes we got to give ourselves a little push in order to help ourselves be strong. So this whole month we've been focusing on that strength. Oh, and wait, I have an apology for all of you. These should have happened last Sunday. Lent started Wednesday with Ash Wednesday. Lent is they say the 40 days between Ash Wednesday and Easter. Well, it's 40 days plus weekends thrown in, and they don't count it that way, which is fascinating because you get days off for good behavior during Lent. But it's actually a 46-day period. Oh boy, this is going to be scary up here today. My words are already in weird order. So these are Unity's books through Lent. It's a day book with little affirmative readings and stories and all sorts of things for each day of Lent. So you'll have to read fast between Wednesday and today so you can catch up for today. But with my apologies, I should have gotten it out to you sooner, and I let life get in the way. Sometimes we're juggling a few too many flaming plates at the same time, and one of them hits the floor. So that was one that I got a late start on. But so those are the Lent books. I hope that you take one and enjoy. Those are our board's gift to you through Lent. And now, well, I'm already on that. Let me clear my deck here for a moment. Advertisement. In our bookstore, in case you haven't stepped into the bookstore with Judy. And Judy, thank you so much for your dedication to getting that done. Where did she go? There she is. I thought you were over there. Yeah, I know. Everybody's like, wait a minute. All right, let me memorize where everybody is now. No. So, Judy, thank you for your dedication, for all you do for us in that bookstore space. Thank you. And we have calendars, 2026 calendars, and they're from Unity, and they'll show you pictures of the Unity grounds throughout the year. If you haven't ever been there and are curious, please take a moment. You're welcome to these. They are offered to you for just a gift of love if you would like, and if you just need one, take one. We have some in the bookstore as well. So I'm going to put this here for anybody who wants that as well. For the other ones, go see us in the bookstore. So I'll talk about Bob and photos next at the end of the service, yes. But so when we're talking about strength, you know, I think of, I know Andy had the favorite, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. How many of us that's such a beloved, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And it's important and helpful for us to remember that Christ presence that is strengthening us is in here. And Tina and I have said a couple times, okay, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And do I have to keep proving it sometimes? Really? Could I get a little bit of a break to say that, I know that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And and we know that. And I had one person, I might have shared this up here. I had a person a while back who was not a Unity student, but who someone through word of mouth said, if you're struggling, Trish does spiritual counseling if you want to come. By the way, I'm Trish. If I haven't met you before, I'm Trish. And I always forget to say who I am here. But said, Trish does spiritual counseling. If you want to go to Trish, you can get some spiritual counseling. And this person came to me and said, well, I've actually heard of Unity churches. I've thought about stepping up to Unity churches, but let me we'll do some counseling first and see. And so we had a couple sessions, and then after the second one, they came to Sunday service and kind of liked the church and liked everybody here, and then came to the third session and said, okay, well, I think I'm in, but I need to clarify something that I think I keep hearing you say to me when you and I meet for these sessions. And I just want to get clear and see if this is true. And I said, okay. And they said, I just don't fit in the religion of my birth. I just don't believe a lot of the things there, but I've been searching for something to help me grow. And I said, okay, so that was our focus, was how growth works. And so this person said to me, so I think what I'm hearing you say is that so when I get through this thing that we've been talking about, and I get through this space of growing, that I'm going to find the next thing that I want to grow through. And I said, well, I would hope so. Yes, it's as we grow and evolve, it's kind of this, it's like a spiral staircase. And you're going round and round, and you can keep looking down and seeing those things that you feel are healed, but you keep meeting them at different vantage points so you can see, because they don't go away. You can meet them at different vantage points and find more healing or more work to be done. And the person said, see, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. So you're telling me that, if I do this, for the rest of my life, I'm just going to keep finding new things to grow into? And I said, yes, isn't it awesome? And they said, no. And they said, you're always on this search for more truth and more growth and more understanding. And I said, yes, and more love and more compassion and more showing up of Godness in our lives and in our worlds. And the person said, my old church was a lot easier than that. And they said, I thank you for your time, but I don't think I'm up for that. And they've never come back since. And I said to that person, I'm so humbled and I'm so honored that you would speak those words to me. Because some people just take their toys and go home and disappear, and I never see them again. And I go, have you seen so-and-so? And, we all go, no, it's been a few weeks, and you don't know why. Sometimes you just never get the answer. I love it when people can articulate what it is that's happening. And sometimes people here have told me I'm never coming back multiple times, and then I see them again. So apparently I get a little bit under your skin, and you can't stop hearing this annoying nasal twang, but you'll come back for it. So, and it's the truth, right? There are some days we wake up and we feel like we have the strength of Goliath, and we can haul bags of mulch and tile, and we're strong, and I am woman, hear me roar, and I get to do all of these things. And some days I wake up and go, oh my God, could I just lay in bed and eat junk food and watch movies today, please? Because I need that too. See, they're both forms of strength. We can do all things through Christ's presence that strengthens us. That doesn't mean we have to do them all in the same day. Okay? We are strong. We are capable. And I hope that you hear that from me. You can do everything that is yours to do. You can. Stop putting the pressure on yourself that you have to do it all right now and perfectly. That's not what it's about. It's about the journey. Like Christina Aguilera would sing in that song, life is a journey. It'll take you anywhere you choose to go. And as long as you're learning, you'll find all that it is you'll ever need to know. But don't put undue pressure on yourself like it's a job. It's our invitation to learn at the level that we're going to learn. I've told you, Dave, I don't know this. I don't know if you know this, but I have a boyfriend. Dave teases me constantly. He's like, oh, you have a boyfriend? I had no idea. So I'm being offered, and I've talked about some of the things that I'm being offered in that journey where I have never been before. And one of those hit me kind of slam in the face yesterday afternoon. He came, oh gosh, should I say? Yeah. So he came and he spent the night. And yesterday, when he left, I found myself really tired, heading right to the freezer for those chocolate eclairs that I know I bought this week. And when I went back for the second eclair, and I wasn't really hungry, I thought, oh, you're avoiding something. Chocolate eclairs are better than digging in the dirt for why you feel this weird feeling because he just left. It was a good weekend, it was a good week, everything feels like it fits, and things can be so different. Like you go, I know Harper went to college, oh my gosh, you move your whole life. Everything's got to just feel weird and ill-fitting when you do that. You know, like it doesn't, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to pull you up. You might be absolutely fine. It's me, we're talking about me. But like to me, I think about that. I think about, God, if I would have gone away to college, what would that have felt like? I didn't go away to college. I left home at 17 and did different things. And it all takes different kinds of strength and different ways that our strength shows up. And sometimes if you're feeling an unfamiliar footing in your life, instead of deciding you have to just tackle it all right now and figure it all out right now, no, maybe you do need to cocoon sometimes. That's a form of strength as well. It takes strength to say, you know what, don't should on yourself, my dad used to say. I should be in this place or that place. See, it's a fine line that sometimes can feel like a razor's edge. Because I've said it before, your best life is just on the other side of your biggest fear, if you'll allow yourself to go through it. And sometimes you need to cocoon. Sometimes it's okay to have the second chocolate eclair. I had the second chocolate eclair last night. But while I was eating the second chocolate eclair, I literally was thinking, this is so fascinating. Everything's fine. Why are you doing this? Why are you going to the comfort food? Because I know the comfort food is my thing. It's what I do. And I called him up and he said, I am so tired. And I went home, and I don't know what it is, but I'm exhausted. And I went home, and I cracked a beer. And I said, both of us, right? We're both hitting these places that feel unfamiliar and unsure. And they feel good and fine in their own right, but they don't feel like, quote, normal feels. They're new spaces and new places to try to get comfortable with. And we can do it for a while, and then we need to run home to mama. Or chocolate eclairs. Right? So sometimes we need that. Now, the razor's edge that I'm talking about and the important piece that I'm talking about is, yes, run home to mama. Yes, have a couple eclairs. Yes, cocoon. Do whatever it is that acknowledges the fact that something feels weird in here and I need a minute. And then I went into the building in my backyard, which it's another piece that I know that this is where the weird feeling is I'm making it into a living space, and I'm doing most of it myself. And I haven't hung drywall in a long time. And there's things in there that I'm nervous about doing. And so I had the second chocolate eclair, and I felt inside, and I tried to figure out what it was that felt weird and unusual and that was sending me to comfort food. And I thought, I am stronger than this. And I went outside, and I worked in the building for about another half hour, 45 minutes. And just felt around inside while I was feeling around with what I was doing. See, that's the thing. It's always, always, always both and. It's always our humanity and our divinity. It's always our human self and our God self. We're in it together. And we're in it together. It's in here. If you're looking outside, look inside to your soul. as Christina so sagely sings. Look inside to your soul. That's where the answer is. Honor what's going on in here. This body temple is what brings us through this life. And if it's a sinus infection, if it's I'm feeling weird, if it's I'm trying to avoid something and I get that I'm trying to avoid it, but I can't even figure out what it is I'm trying to avoid, step by step, inch by inch, breath by breath, we are strong. We are capable. We do this life one breath, one step, one moment at a time. When we allow ourselves to do that and treat ourselves with the compassion that we need in order to remember that we do all things through Him who strengthens us. I've been standing this whole time with my phone, and I'm not trying to make a call. I have screenshots here that I didn't, but I wanted to share with you. Which one was it? I love, nothing is so strong as gentleness. Gentleness, nothing so gentle as real strength. It's not about forcing our way into anything, including our own psyche. It's not about making something huge or big or giant happen just because. It's about getting in touch with that inner strength inside ourselves that is always there. It's about getting quiet enough to let the voice within be heard. And it's about rising up and doing it again and again in love and in joy and in that source guidance that is there. Eleanor Roosevelt said, with the new day comes new strength and new thoughts. Carrie Fisher said, stay afraid, but do it anyway. And so it is. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. Please visit www.unityofsebring.org for more information, to submit a prayer request, or to donate to our ministry. We hope to see you again very soon.